Hello and welcome to Midday Update. Coming up are the headlines for the day. Parts of Oman to witness thunderstorms. Salalah Airport welcomes first Saudi flyers flight. Oman and Yemen hold official talks. Military Hajj mission to leave for Saudi Arabia. Consumers urged to save gas amid fears of Russian cutoff in Germany. India sends 2,500 metric tons more wheat to Afghanistan. Sri Lanka provides 5-year visas to Indian business leaders to promote investment in country. World number 1 Swiatek ousted from Wimbledon. India gains upper hand on day 2 of test against England. Those were the headlines. Now for the local stories for the day. The Hajar Mountains and the surrounding areas are likely to witness thunderstorms accompanied by active downward winds and hail on Sunday. Chances of clouds and scattered thunder rain, sometimes accompanied by active downward winds and hail, is continuing to form over the Hajar Mountains and the surrounding areas, Oman Meteorology said in a statement. The meteorology warned people of rising dust, a decrease in the level of horizontal visibility, and the possibility of flying unstable objects due to the active downward winds. Salalah Airport has welcomed the Saudi air carrier flyers with the traditional water salute. Oman Airport said the following in a statement. With the traditional water salute, Salalah Airport received the first flight of Saudi air carrier flyers, which launched its direct 3 flights per week between Riyadh and Salalah. An official session of talks was held between the Sultanate of Oman and the Republic of Yemen. Oman News Agency said the following in a statement. The Sultanate of Oman and the Republic of Yemen are holding an official session of talks in the Vilayat of Salalah that discussed aspects of bilateral cooperation in the fields of transport, communications and information technology and ways to enhance them. The military Hajj mission will leave the Sultanate of Oman for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to perform Hajj on Sunday, July 3, 2022. A statement issued online by the Ministry of Defense stated the following. Today, the military Hajj mission is leaving for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to perform the blessed Hajj this year on board the transport aircrafts of the Royal Air Force of Oman. The mission will bid farewell upon its departure from Seeb Air Base by Major General Khalifa bin Ali bin Nasir Al Sayabi, Assistant Inspector General for Administrative and Financial Affairs at Royal Oman Police, and a number of senior officers of the Sultan's Armed Forces, the Royal Guard of Oman, the Royal Oman Police, and other military and security agencies. The conduct of the military Hajj mission comes under supreme directives and orders from His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq, the Supreme Commander. With that, we'll take a short break and we'll be back with the international news. Stay tuned.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the international stories. Russia could be planning to use a regular maintenance break on the Nord Stream 1 gas pipeline as an opportunity to cut the gas supply to Germany completely, making it vital to save as much gas as possible, a German official has told newspapers. The question was whether the planned 11-day maintenance period due to start July 11th will become a longer period of political maintenance, Klaus Müller, the head of the Federal Network Agency, told sources. He said that if the gas supply from Russia is reduced longer for political reasons, they have to talk more seriously about ways to cut consumption. Russia has already cut or reduced its gas supply to several European countries amid tensions over Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. Home and apartment owners should use the 12 weeks remaining before the heating season starts to prepare for such an eventuality, Müller said. He said gas boilers and heaters should be urgently inspected to ensure their efficient operation. Maintenance checks can reduce gas consumption by 10 to 15%, he said. It should be done now and not in fall. He called on tradespeople working in the sector to concentrate on heating and hot water systems to avoid problems getting appointments. However, he stressed that gas was the only energy source currently at risk. The crisis situation applies to gas and not electricity, he said, adding that fuel and oil were not in short supply. Miller also said that priorities would have to be set if there were to be a shortage of gas. He emphasized that his agency predicted no scenario in which no gas at all reaches Germany, saying that Norway and the Netherlands were other potential sources. India has sent the 15th consignment of 2,500 metric tons of wheat to Afghanistan as humanitarian assistance via the Attari-Wagah border. Balbir Mangat, Joint Commissioner Customs on Saturday, said that a total of 36,000 metric tons of wheat has been sent so far. Out of 50,000 metric tons, which was promised by India, only 14,000 metric tons is left to be dispatched. India has announced that it will send 50,000 metric tons of wheat to Afghanistan overland through Pakistan. The first consignment of humanitarian aid of 2,500 tons of wheat from India reached Afghanistan's Jalalabad through Pakistan on February 26, whereas the second convoy of India's humanitarian assistance carrying 2,000 metric tons of wheat left Attari, Amritsar on March 3 for Jalalabad, Afghanistan. Moreover, India sent the third consignment of 2,000 metric tons of wheat to Afghanistan in 40 trucks via the Attari-Wagah border on March 8. The fourth consignment of 2,000 metric tons of wheat was dispatched for Afghanistan via the Attari-Wagah border on March 15. Sri Lankan Minister Dhamika Pereira handed 5 years visas to Indian business leaders in the island nation to promote investment in the country. Early on Wednesday, the Indian High Commissioner Gopal Bagle met Sri Lanka's Trade Minister and discussed diverse facets of the trade. India always comes forward to help Sri Lanka during its economic crisis. India has sent assistance worth several billion US dollars to rescue the money-strapped Sri Lankan government, accompanied by shiploads of humanitarian aid, cooking gas, large quantities of fuel and medicinal supplies. On June 3rd, High Commissioner to Colombo Gopal Bagle handed over a total of 3.3 tons of essential medical supplies to the 1990 Sovasaria ambulance service. India's assistance to Sri Lanka includes the massive USD 3 billion credit line assistance, the 40,000 metric tons of diesel, shipments of rice, milk powder and medicinal drugs, all worth Rs 2 billion. Further 40,000 metric tons of petrol and 400,000 metric tons of cooking gas also arrived from India. These humanitarian supplies are in continuation of the Government of India's ongoing support to the people of Sri Lanka in multiple forms such as financial assistance, forex support, material supply and many more. India is becoming a stronger and more mutually beneficial partner to Sri Lanka. Apart from assistance during the pandemic and fertilizer chaos, India is also donating basic products to the island nations. Those are the international stories. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with the sports news. Stay tuned.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the sports stories. Women's singles world number 1 Iga Świątek from Poland was knocked out of the Wimbledon Championships by French veteran Alizé Cornet on Saturday, leaving her best result at the grass-court Grand Slam, a last 16 finish from last year. Cornet, 32, also ended Świątek's 37-match winning streak as she dominated the third round match 6-4, 6-2, reaching the round of the last 16 for the second time in her 15 attempts. Two-time French Open champion Świątek, with only 11 matches on grass in her career, admitted that she was still struggling on the surface. "I was pretty confused about my tactics. As a solid player, she used that pretty well. For sure, it wasn't a good performance for me, but I'm looking forward to the next experiences," said the 21-year-old. Another clay expert, Rafael Nadal, played more confidently at Wimbledon as the 22 Grand Slam champion breezed past Italian Lorenzo Sonego. India had an edge on the rain-truncated Day 2 of the fifth and final test between India and England at Edgbaston, Birmingham, with captain Jasprit Bumrah leading the attack to take 3 of 5 wickets of force after a power-packed batting performance. England was left struggling at 84 for 5 at the end of the final session. At the end of the day, England's score in their first innings read 84 for 5, with Johnny Beresford at 12 and Ben Stokes at 0 standing at the crease. India were bowled out for 416 earlier in the day. England resumed things at 60 for 3 after tea with Joe Root at 19 and Johnny Bairstow at 6 unbeaten on the crease. Root started off things nicely, hitting pacer Mohammad Shami for 2 fours in the first over after tea. Root Bairstow added a total of 34 runs before pacer Mohammad Siraj dismissed Root for 31 after wicketkeeper Rishabh Pant caught the ball which hit the edge of Root's willow. This brought spinner Jack Leach to the crease, who had come up on the order as a night watchman. He could face only 5 balls. Skipper Ben Stokes was out next on the crease with the duty to carry England throughout the remainder of the day safely. He did so, carrying the bat along with his partner at the end of the final session. England resumed their innings at 16 for 1 after lunch with Zach Crawley at 7 and Oli Pope at the crease. Joe Root and Pope tried to stabilise the innings, but their stand was cut short at 17 runs after Pope was dismissed by Bumrah for just 10. The man in form, Johnny Bairstow, was up next. He and Root added together 16 runs before rain interrupted the play. An early tee was taken. Earlier, a superb century from Ravindra Jadeja and late blitz by stand-in captain Jasprit Bumrah took India to a total of 4 and 16 on day 2 in the first innings of the 5th and final test against England at Birmingham on Saturday. India started off things on day 2 at 338 for 7. They were bundled out for 416 in 84.5 overs. Rishabh Pant at 146 and Ravindra Jadeja at 104 were the stars of India with the bat. Captain Jasprit Bumrah also contributed 131 in just 16 balls, consisting of 4 boundaries and 2 sixes. In the second innings, Jasprit Bumrah provided an early breakthrough, dismissing opening Alex Elise for just 6 runs by dislodging his stumps. Early lunch was taken due to rain interrupting the play. Earlier, brilliant century from wicketkeeper batter Rishabh Pant and his 222-run stand with Ravindra Jadeja powered India to 338 for 7 on the first day of the 5th and final test against England at Edgbaston Stadium on Friday. Those were all the local, international and sports stories for the day. For more updates, stay tuned and keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.